Game review.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my Let's Play of FTL. A lot of people wonder what this game is. It's a roguelike based in space where you simulate a ship, you manage your crew, blah blah blah. And if you don't know what a roguelike is, it's just a game that when you die, you're dead. So the idea of the game is to complete it in one playthrough, as well as you can. This is the basic loadout screen where you can choose from ship. I haven't actually unlocked all that many ships. I've unlocked 3. That is the one you get from completing the game, which is notoriously hard. This game is famous for being very difficult. And I managed to do it. I was dead chuffed. But I've got that ship. I'm going to play with the Kestrel. I'm going to play on the second layout of the Kestrel because I prefer it to the basic layout. And it's orange, which is one of my favourite colours. And you can rename your ship. What shall we shall name it? The Lambda Cruiser. I can spell Cruiser. Cruiser. I don't know if that's how you spell it. And what can we name our guys? We'll name our guys... That'll be Stuart. Whoops, right spell. That will be... Let's make this one Miles. I was going to give it the actual gaming tag there, but I don't think I will. Where's my cursor gone? Oh yeah, it's a shot. Let's make this guy... David. And finally, let's make this guy... me. Sorted. Accept. And now I'm going to jump in easy just so I don't die as quickly. That's just saying the storyline. You're a ship trying to carry information to the rebel fleet, which is on the other side of the map. And this is what the game screen looks like most of the time when you're in battles. When you're sorting out your ship systems, blah blah. This is what it looks like. So the first thing I always do here is I assign my crew. I always leave the first guy on the ship there where he is. On this layout, I move the second human to the engines. I move this guy to the weapons array, because when he's in any system, he gives it an extra power. Like you can see this, you don't have to use your ship powers here. And Nick here, unfortunately, has half repair speed, so I'm going to stick him in the shields for the moment until we get another crew member. And then after that, what I always do is I always upgrade the doors. Because if there's a fire, if there's anything, what you can do is you can open up your doors, drain the oxygen, and that will kill the fire, which is quite clever and really handy to do. But if your doors get damaged and your ship gets damaged, systems get damaged as well, and you can't always access them normally. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you the beacon map here. This shows you where you can jump to. The idea is to get to the exit and work your way through. Different locations for different things. So I'm going to jump into the nebula here straight off to show you what that does. As you can see, there's a little danger warning here, which all that does in this current nebula is you can't see your ship systems because it's blocked, because your security systems don't work in here. And this is an encounter. These are random depending on each tile, each different map location. They're all random. They will change. So here it's saying I've been I find a smuggler. He's trying to stay away. I'm going to attack him because smugglers should die. Smugglers suck. Hit space, pause it. That's something I do a lot. You don't have to, but it's very handy. I'm going to power up all my weapons. As you see, when those went up, these went down. You really do need to watch that. It's really bad management. You really need to get that balance right. So I'm going to unpause here and my weapons will start to charge. His weapons will start to charge as well. Usually mine end up charging first. Looking by what he has, no, he's got an ion which fires really quickly. And what that did there was, when it hit my shields, it's knocked those out a little bit, which is not too bad unless he gets that weapon's badass. It does a lot of damage across rooms, and it does a lot of hull damage, but it can't get through shields, which is lucky. So what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to take out his shields, and then I'm also going to shoot one to his O2, because that's got a ship with people on it. Oh, he's just trying to escape. I need to stop him before he does that. They're going to now rush to the O2 to try and repair it, which I need to repair that, but I can do that after the ship battle's finished. But, oh, they've not done. Usually they rush there, try and repair the O2 because they need that to survive. But now his shield is down. All I'm going to do, all my weapons on that, done. It's going to come up with my victory and what I've won. Small bomb. Do I want that? Yeah, I'll keep that. I can equip that point. I usually don't. I usually sit purely with lasers because with lasers, you can get through shields, you can do a lot of damage and do everything really quickly. I just got Miles there to go and repair that. But with yeah, what was I saying, with lasers, they get through shields, they attack really quickly, and they usually don't take up a lot of power. And now that I have scrap, which is just the currency of the game, this is my upgrade menu. I can choose to upgrade something. If I get more power bars, it allows me to have more power, which I can assign to different things. I'm going to keep them all for the time being, and I'm going to wait for a bit to see if we can find a shop before I get out of distress. That's good. These usually either give you a little quest or something which will give you extra bonuses, or it can even be a trick, so it's just a straightforward battle. Here it's saying that something's lodged, so I can try and destroy it from its... Is this one? Orbiting an uninhabited planet? Is that the blah blah blah? Oh no, it's not the one. Either way, I can try and shoot it from a distance and see what happens. I was successful. Usually that can go wrong. Usually that can destroy what it is and you don't get anything. I got a couple missiles there, a few scrap. It's an alright haul. It's not the best. I'm going to jump back to here, see if I can get across quicker to the exit without running out of fuel. What have we got here? Just a random trader. Missile for drone parts. I'm not really going to use drones because I don't have it with this ship, so I'm just going to ignore that. Jump to the next section. No, okay. And you can get tiles which just have nothing in them, and they just have a background which looks really nice. So, there we go. Store. Stores usually have different things, but they don't usually have a mix of things, so it's usually personnel, ship systems, weapons, or drones. This one's got weapons. I'm going to go here, I'm going to sell that small bomb I have, because I'm not going to use it. I hate bombs. They're too slow. I'm going to buy a bit of fuel here. I just repaired my ship though, we're going to fix all. That's usually quite cheap unless you get loads of damage done. And here are the other ship systems that you can buy. Cloaking is really useful, because the enemy can't target you and their weapons don't charge up whilst you're cloaked. So I would save up to get that. Oh, another store. This will have different things in it. This won't have weapons. It's very rare that you find two stores exactly the same right next to each other. Repair arm. That's good. That just repairs my ship every now and again, but I lose scrap for it. I'm just going to go back here and jump it down there. But I think that's usually worth it, because when you get in loads of trouble and you're nowhere near a store or stuff, that will help repair your ship a little bit and help you live that little bit longer. Oh no, suns. The suns set fire to your ship every now and again, and especially against these guys, it's really, really just a pain in the face, because it deals damage to your ship. It sets systems on fire, and it's just you just cloak down and see my weapons in charge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take precaution against that. And I'm going to open doors to all the room, except for auction, all the rooms without people in them. So that means if fire is set, these won't have oxygen in them, and the room won't burn. Fingers crossed. So I'm going to let that happen. He doesn't have to worry about it because he's a drone, he doesn't have any people on board. The good thing about drones is that you can just go straight for their weapons. Here we go. Solar flare imminent, and we see the fire. There we go. That is not good, because that means that will constantly take damage. My shields are down now, and the people in the room with the fire also take damage because they're in a room full of fire. And this will mean I should pause this just now. Close this room. My oxygen system will fill that up with oxygen again. They'll start to repair that, and after that's repaired, after this battle I should say, I'll shove them both into the med bay and heal them up. It's really worth it. Close all my doors. want to get out of here before there's another solar flare, which isn't going to happen. No, that got me. So I don't know where the fire is now. Probably said one merchant sees a magical card. Yes, let's help them. These are random events that come up. They're not necessarily stressed. They could be tricks. You could do certain things. Could end up with a fight. It all really depends on how it goes about. Carrying ship. Okay, he wants me to do something for him. Right. Okay. Ooh, that is not good. What's just happened is that guy's just given me a quest in the next sector, which means when I jump to the next sector, I will have a marker on my map which I'll go to. That's really not good. That I'll go to, and I will complete that quest. And when I complete that quest again, either it can be an ambush or I can get a large reward for it. It all depends. It's all random, and that's part of what makes this game very difficult. It's really hard to tell and to judge what's going to do what. So you really do just have to wing it and hope for the best. Close those. Now these three need to go to the med bay because they've all taken damage from fire. One thing which I forgot to mention at the beginning is different races have different abilities. I mean, I mentioned that he gives the +1 to the ship system, but every upside has its downside. So, for example, he has less health, but the Mantis, Nick, he has half repair speed, but he also does twice as much combat damage because you can get your ship boarded, and you can board ships if you get a transporter as well. So that's also very handy. At times I just need to repair my thing. I'll jump to the next sector. Humans have no attributes. They have nothing special. They have nothing against them. They're just plain and simple. And just jump here. There's the Rockmen. The Rockmen are brilliant because they're immune to fire. They've got extra health, but their movement speed is halved, which is fine because you don't really need to move them. Sell 5 missiles for 15 scrap? Yes, please. And now jump to the next sector. This is your sector map. This is again, this is all randomly generated. And this one's very bad for me. Last time I played through, all of that was civilian, and all of that was civilian, so I had no hostile things at all. But usually I find going to hostile things are better because you defeat more ships, you get more scrap, which means you can buy better things for your ship. The name of the game is to get to the sections where the boss is at, and defeat the boss, which is ridiculous. Getting there is quite easy, but getting to the boss is ridiculously difficult. And beating him because he has 3 stages, and as they go on they get progressively more difficult. And I want to say it's more of a game of luck than of skill. Because when it comes to skill, yeah, you can plan going, oh, for example, I'll go here, so I can go to a civilian section, and then I'll get a couple nebulas at the end, because when I'm in a nebula, they don't catch up to me as quick. I forgot to mention that as well, as you go through the game, that the Rebel fleet do catch up with you. In fact, that's the Rebel fleet. You don't want that coming to you, or else you get extra strong ships against you. But as you go through, you can't go back. It's all progressive. And when you're in a nebula, they just catch up to you slow, which means you can jump to different tiles more often. And you can do all that. You can plan all that through. But when you actually get into that area, you don't know what's going to be at each beacon. So that makes things a lot more difficult, and it really does add a complete random element to it. But as for me, I'm going to stop there. That's the basics of the game. That's pretty much all it is in a nutshell. So, thank you for watching, and cheerio.